The smoke is really close now, and for the first time I can see fire.
Charlie Sheen taking to Twitter to search for his parents, Martin and
Today we'll be going over celebrities fleeing Hollywood and groves. Let's get into the video. Set just a few hundred yards from the ocean in sun-kissed Venice Beach, Los Angeles, Goals was the backdrop for Pumping Iron, the 1977 documentary which followed a young, unknown Austrian bodybuilder called Arnold Schwarzenegger as he prepared for the Mr. Universe contest. The film turned him into an overnight sensation. He would go on to become a global superstar, marry a member of the Kennedy clan, and become governor of California. Yet today, Gold sits amidst post-apocalyptic scenes which have consumed much of LA, turning the city of dreams into an urban nightmare from which people are fleeing in droves. A makeshift tent city made up of flapping tarpaulins and cardboard boxes surrounds the gym on all sides. Junkies and the homeless, many of whom are clearly mentally ill, walk the palm lined streets like zombies, all just 3 blocks from the multi-million-dollar homes overlooking the Pacific.
Janet Sheen, who live in Zuma Beach in Malibu. Sheen tweeting, "If anyone has eyes in them, please let me know." Hours later, relief. Caitlyn Jenner posting this video with Sophia Hutchins from a safe house, reassuring fans that they're okay.
We're safe and sound.
That is.
Stolen bicycles are piled high on pavements littered with broken syringes. TV bulletins are filled with horror stories from across the city of women being attacked during their morning jog or residents returning home to find strangers defecating in their front gardens. Today, Los Angeles is a city on the brink. For sale signs are seemingly dotted on every suburban street as the middle classes, particularly those with families, flee to the safer suburbs, with many choosing to leave LA altogether. British-born Danny O'Brien runs Watford Moving and Storage. There is a mass exodus from Hollywood, he says, and a lot of it is to do with the politics. His business is booming.
It's very scary.
And actor Will Smith climbing to higher ground to show how close the fire is to his home. His father speaking with Fox station KTTV.
Emilio, Ramon, Renee, Charlie, we're fine.
August has already set records and we are only halfway through the month, he tells me. People are getting out in droves. Last week I moved a prominent person in the music industry from a $6.5 million mansion above Sunset Boulevard to Nashville. O'Brien, 58, who moved to LA from London 34 years ago, is also planning to move to Tennessee. Liberal politics has destroyed this city, he says. The homeless encampments are legal and there's nothing the police can do. White, affluent, middle-class folk are getting out. People don't feel safe anymore. With movies still shuttered because of the coronavirus pandemic and businesses only just starting to remove the wooden boards put up after the citywide rioting following the death of George Floyd, while being arrested by 3 white officers in Minneapolis, LA is now in the grip of white flight. Lou Ferrigno became friends with Schwarzenegger when both worked out at Gold's. While he might not be quite a household name like Arnie, Ferrigno starred in the TV series Incredible Hulk and became one of the wealthiest bodybuilders in the world with a fortune of $12 million. President Donald Trump appointed him to his council on fitness, sports, and nutrition in 2018, but Ferrigno, for all his impeccable connections, has become fed up with what he describes as a dramatic decline in LA. He and wife Carla recently sold their $3 million home in Santa Monica, moved into a 7,146 square foot mansion 2 hours north of LA. Carla says, "One morning around 7 a.m., I opened the curtains on our beautiful Santa Monica home, and looking up at me from our driveway were 3 gang members with tattoos on their faces sitting on our retaining wall. They were catcalling me and being vulgar. I motioned I was going to call the police, and they just laughed, flicking their tongues at me and showing me their guns." Her husband added, "We put the house up for sale after 40 wonderful years and moved north. We feel lucky to have made it out. Now we are in a wonderful place and very happy." Renee Taylor, an Oscar-nominated screenwriter and actress who appeared in the hit TV sitcom The Nanny, recently sold her Beverly Hills home after half a century and moved to the East Coast. "I feel so sad for my friends left in Beverly Hills who had to suffer through looting and rioting," she says. "I got out just in time." The virus only made things worse. There are homeless encampments in some of the most instantly recognizable tourist traps, stretches of Hollywood Boulevard embedded with glittering stars, representing those who achieve their dream of fame and fortune, resemble a third-world shantytown rather than the heart of America's second-largest city. Outside the Chinese Theater, where Marilyn Monroe and other screen icons are immortalized with their handprints in concrete, the Michael Jackson and Superman lookalikes who usually pose with tourists have been replaced by vagrants begging for change. Meanwhile, the visitors snap photos of a large Black Lives Matter logo painted down the middle of the street. Car parks beside the beach in Santa Monica, a popular tourist destination for Britons, are filled with bashed-up motorhomes, each housing several people. The authorities have even put portable toilets in the streets to try and stop the homeless from leaving themselves on private property. The Westwood area of LA, home to some of the most upmarket blocks of flats in the city, has been renamed West Hood by locals appalled by rising crime. Veteran publicist Ed Lazzi says the city was changing before coronavirus brought us to our knees. The homeless problem has been escalating for years, exacerbated by weak politicians making bad decisions. Hollywood has always been the wokest of the woke, so politicians have done nothing to stop people sleeping on the streets. It's not illegal and the weather's nice, so they keep coming. There's insufficient housing, inadequate mental health care, adding COVID in, it's a perfect storm. When I first arrived in LA 40 years ago, the town smelled of orange blossoms, now the streets stink of urine. There is a beautiful park in Westwood, but you can't go there because there are people slumped on the ground and you step on a carpet of needles. White flight is real. The elites and middle class are leaving. People are taking losses on the sales of their homes to get out. The divide between rich and poor has never been more glaring. Just yards away from Gold sits the sprawling LA headquarters of internet giant Google. The car park is housed in a building designed by architect Frank Gehry to look like a giant pair of binoculars. Private security guards wander around as a handful of employees return after a lockdown drive into the complex in their Teslas, Porsches, and Range Rovers. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.